Now let's have a look at question number 3. Question number 3 says the 10th term of an AP is 40 and the 20th term is 30. Find the common difference and the first term. So in this question, what we're told is that we have an arithmetic progression and we know that T10 is equal to 40 and we're told that the 20th term is equal to 30. And from that information, they want us to find the common difference and the first term. So now let's write out mathematically what we're given. Well, we're given the 10th term. So we write T10 is equal to 40. We're given the 20th term, which is 30. So we write T20 equals to 30. The aim of the question is to find D. So I'm going to write D question mark. And the aim of the question is also find the first term. So I'll write A question mark. So how do we approach this question? What I want you to note here is that our aim is to find A and D. That means that we have two unknowns. And in mathematics, whenever we have two unknowns, we must make two equations. And if we want to make two equations, we need two conditions. So the question is, what are our conditions? Well, we're told that T10 is equal to 40. That's our first condition. And we're given T10, we're given a specific term. And we think about using the Tn formula. So let's write out the Tn formula. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 D. Now, let's sub in what we know. Well, we know that T10 is equal to 40. So we write 40. We don't know what A is, so we write A plus. Well, we said it was T10. That means that n is equal to 10. So we can sub n as 10 in, and 10 minus 1 gives us 9. So we have 9D. So we can see that by subbing T10 equals to 40 into our Tn formula, we have now our equation in terms of A and D. And that's our first equation. Since there are two unknowns, we need two equations. So how do we get the second equation? We look for the second condition. Our second condition here is that T20 equals to 30. So once again, we're given a specific term. So we think about using the Tn formula. So let's write out the Tn formula. Tn equals A plus n minus 1 D. Now let's sub this into our equation. When we substitute this into our equation, we need to remember that T20 is 30. So that means that n is equal to 20. So subbing it in, we get T20, which is 30, equals A, we don't know, plus n, we do know. N is 20. So that's 20 minus 1 is 19 times D. So what do we get? By using our second condition, we get another equation in terms of A and D. So we'll call this second equation number 2. So now we have two unknowns, two equations. We can solve these two equations simultaneously to find A and D. Now, solving simultaneously, I have A plus 9D equals to 40, A plus 19D equals to 30. Whenever you're solving simultaneous equations, you can either use substitution method or you can use elimination method. We can see here that we have A and A. So in this case, it's easier to use the elimination method because if we get equation 2 and we minus equation 1, A disappears. We could also take equation 1 minus equation 2, A also disappears. But you wouldn't take 1 minus 2 because if you take 1 minus 2, you get 9D minus 19D, and that gives you a negative answer. So it's best to take 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 gives A minus A is 0, 19D minus 9D is 10D, 30 minus 40 gives you minus 30, so D equals minus 1. Now once we know D, we can sub it back into here, and we get A plus minus 1 times that is minus 9 equals to 40. Now the reason why I sub this into here is that it's easier to sub this into here than this into here because this 19 is a bigger number than 9. Okay, well anyways, let's continue solving for A. So A equals, chuck the 9 across, and we get 49. So we've been able to solve for D and A. So what do I want you to learn from this question? I want you to learn that the fundamental idea of mathematics is that if whenever you're asked to find an unknown, or in this case, two unknowns, you need two equations. And to generate two equations, you need two conditions. The second thing I want you to remember is that in this question, we're given that the condition is a specific term. So whenever you're given a condition in a specific term, you must use the TN formula. The third thing I want you to remember is that when you sub this into TN, you must remember that TN becomes your 40 and the N is your 10.